Happy Monday, everyone. Get around here the proper way. It has been a while since I've been on. So sorry. Still going back and forth to the lot, the lake, and doing projects at the garage. But I got some new coffee about 12 or 13 days ago, I guess it's been. I've been letting it degas before I put half of it in the freezer, and half I'm going to brew different ways with, hopefully in the next week. So I'll put some in my airscape, and then I will seal the other half up. What coffee am I talking about? It's from my local shop called Karmic Grounds, but when I seen it, I like Ethiopia's, so they're more fruity, natural blend, and that's what this one is. A strawberry, plum, and cocoa nib is the notes. It says heirloom varietal. It's a Ethiopia Guji G3 Dambi Udo, and it's organic. It was roasted on August 29th. So I'll show you the beans here in a second, as well as I'm going to use the Oreav3. The recipe I found with, it's called The Right Roast. I watched a lot of their Instagram videos, and he had one on there the other day, last week, that I wanted to try with the Oreav3. What I'm going to attempt, which I have not attempted yet, is grinding it on my DF64. So I'm not quite sure for this brewer what range I want to be at. I currently am at a 55, but that's because I was doing cold brew. No, I was doing something last week, and I needed it to be filter. I think it was, I was thinking about doing my Flair Pro 2. Never got to that. Even this weekend I thought I would, and I still haven't gotten to it. So I'll try it on this first, and then maybe I'll attempt it by the end of the week, hopefully on the Flair Pro. But yeah, right now it looks like it's at a 56. So I'm hoping that'll be fine enough. I normally do it on the hand grinder, so it's just, it throws me a little bit when I get onto this thing. So I will weigh out my beans, and it is a 12 gram recipe to 200 grams of water. So let me grab the scissors. Here they are. Sorry. Let me pour this in here. I'm going to pour it all in my airscape for now, and then probably after the video I'll go ahead and put half of it in a bag. Oh, I can smell that already. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can get a few out here so you can see what the beans look like. Pretty evenly roasted. I'm hoping you can see that. Guess I could see what I'm showing you here. Oh yeah. So yeah, evenly roasted there, and oh, they smell really good. So I'm going to weigh out 12 grams of that on my scale, and the rest will go in the airscape. Let's do that real quick. 12 grams to grind. What I want to do though is take a couple of these and grind it through there from the last amount beans that I use, because I don't want any of that left over in there. Some of us are a little picky when it comes to that. That's right at 12, so I'm going to do a couple more just because I get a little retention. 12.3. So let's pour the rest in here. That is going to be really nice. Oh, that smells wonderful. I wish you could have smell-o-vision. It smells so good. And I used to get my onyx beans from this cafe, Karmic Grounds, but now that they have their own coffee roaster, it's right there in the middle of the shop. So on my Instagram, you'll see a post in the last couple weeks that I showed their roaster. So they're now roasting their own beans. So I am anxious to try this and see if it compares to any of the other Ethiopias that I've had. So can't get onyx there now. I could probably order it online because I still do enjoy my onyx, as well as my Good Brothers. That's what's in my bean vaults right now, is some Good Brother coffee. India Mysore nuggets. We've got like 3 more, and that will be gone. And then I have tons in the freezer that I need to look at. Okay, so we've got 12 grams of this Ethiopia Guji. I hope I don't ruin it the first time I'm attempting this. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to taste the strawberries. The recipe also that I got from Right Roast, he used his Mellow Drip with the Oreav3. And this is some milk here because I always end up adding milk after I do a few sips. I'm just not to the point where I can drink it totally straight right now, so that's why my Breville is already heated and on. So like I said, I was going to take a couple beans here. Let's grind out a few just to get that out of there. Don't want any leftover. See if that's fine enough for me too. I might want to go down a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to put this on a little tray so you all can see it. I haven't made a video for coffee in a while, so just bear with me. I use these little trays here, and you can kind of see that doesn't look quite fine enough for me. Not for pour over anyway. Actually, I want to go coarse for pour over. What am I thinking? See, this is where I get confused. So I probably want to go, maybe this is good. Actually, last time I did it, it was a little muddy, so I think I might want to go, let's see, maybe to 60 instead of 55. Let's try a 60 on the first one, and I can always do it a second time. Let me pour this into my little cup. There we go. And set that down. So I've got my 12 grams right here. And I like to move it up when it's on. So let's do that. 60 to 62-ish. So yeah, coarser for pour over, finer for machine. That's where my balancing act here. And I do try to make coffee on a daily basis, so you'd think I'd get it by now after almost 2 years doing this. But between going from pour over to espresso to lattes, it can get confusing. And that went off, so I want to make sure that's back on again. All right, so put the beans in there. See what this looks like. Give a shout out to Thomas for my bean cup, as well as the top of the bellows. He has like a little hole there that it's easy to get the beans in and they don't fall out everywhere. He also sent along a little funnel. I've been using that for my portioning out of my beans into the bean cellars. Fits perfect into the lid, so I really like that. So thanks, Thomas. I really appreciate that. My previous cup collar had broke, so he made me a whole new one. And then, of course, CY's 3D print that I printed up for the collar, and it angles onto my DF64 just perfect where there's nothing gets out. So let's see what this does. And it's pretty fast. Hoping that's 12 grams. What I did forget to do is I always measure out. Let's put it in this cup. And I want to make sure that I've got the 12 grams because I will grind more if I need to. So we're zeroed. Just going to do this, get it all out and measure it up. 12.1. I think we're good. So there must have been that extra one in there. 0.1 that I had, so I don't know if you can see that, but that's the grind I'm going to do. And then what did I say that was? A 62 on the DF. So we're going to pour that in here. Actually, I want to heat my carfe. There's always these steps that you just want to make sure. And you want to tear out my scale. Let me get the kettle here without knocking anything over. because I am on a corded mic still. I have not found a good budget-friendly Bluetooth mic yet, but I'm still looking. Christmas is around the corner, guys. Let me heat this up really quick. And I already wet my filter, so we'll do that. I think I said on here that we're doing 12 grams to 200 water. That is the portion that I like. So let's do this quick while the water is at, oh, and the temperature of the water is at 96 Celsius. I'm not sure what that is Fahrenheit because the right roast is in Europe. So let's tear all this out. That's the Oreav3. I like the flow on it. And the recipe is 40 or 50 grams of water to a 40-second bloom. Is that right? Let me double check before I say that. I wrote it down. Here it is. Way over here. Yeah, 40-second bloom. And I start out with 50 grams of the water. Oh, and I said I was going to use the Mellow Drip, and I'm not using it. There is 50 grams right there. Start my timer. Set that here. See if we can get you a little closer. Here it is. Pretty fresh. We'll give that another 20 seconds or so. And I don't swirl it on this round, but I will in the next pour. And it's a 3-pour, so that's what I'll do. Sorry I'm moving you around so much. Try to set you back down here evenly. Should move you closer. Okay, we're about there, so let's go. This time let's try and even this up a little bit. We are at 40 seconds. Now we go to 100. There we go, and I'm going to give it a slight swirl. Once I get to 100. And the time's going to be, I'm thinking around 3 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes. Slight swirl, get all the good stuff off the side. And then we'll do one more pour here at the last 100. It's pretty fast. And for me, I'm just going to pour it in this cup. I didn't heat the cup, so let me do that while I'm waiting. I wait to about 1.5 minutes on the timer before I pour my last 100 grams. There we go. And that's where we're at right now. Last 100 grams. Up to the 200 is what I'm going to do. I might go to 210. I'm a 210 girl. And then we'll give it a slight swirl to make sure everything's down at the bottom. The flatter the better. I am using the Kalita filters on this. Actually, I went to 220, which is okay because, like I said, I don't tend to get right on each time. There. Last swirl on that. We're at 2 minutes 20 seconds. I'll let it do its thing, empty my water, and we'll give this a good taste. I'm anxious. See if I can taste any of these notes. Not sure what, cocoa nibs sound like chocolate to me, so. But strawberry and plum should be easier. Yeah, we're at 240, and we're just about there. So I was about right when I said 3 minutes. There it goes. We'll give that a stop. There it is. Last few drips. Yep, 255. I'm saying it's done. Yep. 255 on the minutes and 225 on the actual water amount with the 12.1 grams of coffee. So I'm saying that's done. Set it over here. Well, actually, I can show you without dripping it everywhere. I do have a pretty flat bed, which I'm pleased with. That's the grounds. And we're going to give this a few minutes to cool because I know it'll be too hot. So let me pour it in here. That kind of helps also. And again, I did the water at 96 degrees Celsius. I need to get those cups. Actually, I do have one, but it's way over there. That you pour them in for tasting. Yeah, this is pretty hot. When it cools down, it gets to a certain color code, and you know it's safe to drink it. So let's wait a few minutes. Maybe while I'm waiting on that, I will steam up my milk while I'm at it, because I know I will be using it. Set this over to the side and get this ready. Don't need my mirror since I didn't use the machine for coffee, but we will get this started here. Get me a wet paper towel to wipe with. There we go. So I hope everyone's had a great weekend. Been a sad one in respects of our Queen passing in the UK. But what a legacy, 70 years on the throne. All right, get this heated up while we're waiting for my coffee to cool down. Just make sure it's at an angle, and spinning is what I usually do. Let a little air in, usually about 20 seconds is what I find. But with pour over, I can't get the art like I would if it was espresso. It's too watery or something. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I enjoy trying. And then I just do it till I feel the bottom is not touchable. And that usually for me takes about a minute, 10 seconds. And I'm not timing it or something, but just when my fingers can't hold the bottom anymore, I turn it off. And I know it's heated through. So let's do that. Turn it off. And it's got a glossy look to it. Here, I'll show it to you in a second. There we go. Here's my machine. You don't want milk stuck in there. And I am using, I didn't say, but it's just got that glossy look. You'll never see what you're seeing, but that'll be my milk here once I taste this. But lately I've been using the extra creamy oat silk. And yes, it's got to have the full fat. Otherwise, it doesn't draw very well for me. Plus, the taste is extra special with that. So that's what I'll use into my cup here. But I want to taste this. Let me give it a stir. Of course, coffee making always takes me longer than I want it to. But that's the fun of it, right? So let's give that a stir. It's still a little warm, but I think maybe warm enough for me to not get burned. Definitely strawberry. 12 grams is a good dose for me. Yeah, maybe. Might still be a little too hot. I'm surprised sometimes how long it takes for it to cool down, because when I used to drink coffee, it would get cold too fast. So now it's like I'm wanting it to cool down and it won't. But I'm liking the recipe dose. In this cup it's a teal color, so you really can't see. So leaning it, you can kind of see. It's got a good clarity to it. It's, to me, I don't see a lot of oils in this either. So for an Ethiopia, and as it cools, you're going to taste it a little bit more. It is a light to medium roast as well as a natural. So I've had a few other Ethiopias from different roasters, but this is my first with Karmic grounds. So that first taste wasn't bad, but I'm hoping to taste a little more here in a minute or two. My milk will be just right because I don't tend to pour it right away. Sometimes I switch it. But that's kind of what I do when I use my Oreav3. I use the mellow drip when I remember. And then I use the Kalita filters. Got a nice flat bed on that, which I'm very pleased with. And then 96 degrees Celsius water, 12 grams of coffee, 200 grams of water with 3 different pours. So it's just an easy recipe to remember. So if anybody else has a different recipe that they've used, I'd love to hear. Just kind of put it down in the credit comments, and I might try it next time. All right, let's give this another sip. Yes, definitely strawberry. The berry flavor. But yeah, that's really all I taste. I'm still new at it, but actually I could probably drink this without milk, but since I made it, let's go ahead and pour that in there once I get one more sip in. Yeah, in the back of the tongue and sides of the mouth, it's got that strawberry. I can taste it, and I do agree. Everybody says as it cools, you can taste it better. But this doesn't even need sugar. I mean, that's what I like about pour over, especially this one that I've been using, the Oreav3. It's got a cleaner taste where I can just taste the coffee and walk around and just sip on this, and I would be okay. Some of them I get bitter tastes, and that's when the milk comes in handy, so I wasn't sure, and I had it already set out, so I went ahead and made it. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to be really watery and foamy. Not going to get much art with this, and this is definitely a different cup. We get a little circle maybe. Yeah, very faint, very faint. I don't know what's going to show on the camera, but very faint little circle there, but that's what I get. So this will be a good cup for me to sip on this morning. Hope, like I said, everybody had a great weekend. And back to the grind, whether that's work, if you're at work, or if you're at home like I am. Enjoy some coffee, and again, I will hopefully be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.